Flosstube, it's Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche, back for an update on Stitch Mania. Today is May 17th, 2018, and I have been stitching something either new or carry over every day this month. So I wanted to do this video yesterday, but Monday I got really sick, and I've been sick Monday through today. I feel better today though. So my voice is a little but otherwise I'm doing pretty good. I've got my tea right here. So hopefully my voice will be okay for the video. Before I talk about my Stitch Mania, I have to talk about one exciting thing that happened today. I got my baby chickens today. They're so very cute. If I can figure it out, I'll put a picture of them. If not, I will show them on a future video, but they're so cute. So we have 17. They're all kinds of different breeds because I just had a good time picking out the different chickens based on the types of eggs they lay. So I should have a nice array of eggs. We've had chickens. I mean, we had a poultry farm. My father was a poultry farmer, which we raised the chickens you buy in the grocery store. And you couldn't have anything else. You couldn't even have parakeets. We couldn't have any pet birds because we had the poultry farm. After he retired from that, he became what we jokingly call a gentleman farmer, and he had all kinds of chickens. And so we've had fresh eggs for a long time. My dad, I've mentioned before, had a stroke last February 2017, and he hasn't been taking care of the chickens. My sister-in-law was doing the best she could. Something came and killed all of our chickens. Her chickens, my dad's chickens, our chickens, they're all gone. So I have new ones. We have a different chicken pen for them. We've got a different set of security measures. So these chickens are going to be safer than the last batch. But it was kind of sad. But now we have new chickens, and so life is better. My sister-in-law's not getting any more chickens. My dad doesn't want any more chickens, so we're going to be the only ones with chickens, but 17 chickens, we should have plenty of eggs for everybody. My update. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I was watching a bird out this window. Sorry. So a Stitch Mania update. So Teresa agreed, after much pressure, to do 31 days of Stitch Mania with me. We were influenced by Suzette from Primitive Stitcher because she's amazing, and so we want to be like her. So we're stitching on 31 different things. Now I'm doing kind of the Brittany from Ingleside Imaginarium version. I'm doing new starts if I finished the start from last year. If it's not finished, I do what's called a carryover. So if I was stitching on it on the 9th of May of last year, and I still haven't finished it, I will stitch on it on the 9th of May this year. Then Teresa bumped up the level a little bit by saying, why don't we do cumulative? So we're going to stitch on everything. So stitch on your first one on day 1. On day 2, you start something new and stitch on what you started on day 1. So you can see it's cumulative. I love a challenge, no problem. If I have to stay up till midnight, I'm going to get it done, because after midnight it's a different day, so it's got to be by midnight because I'm a rule follower. So I've met the challenge every single day, even when I was sick, and I've made some interesting progress. There are some of these projects that I love, some of them I do not love. So I'll get right into it. So I'm just going to go through the projects as they are listed, and I've got my list in front of me, so you'll see that, or you'll see me looking down at that. So day 1 was my favorite project, or favorite piece released at the 2017 Nashville Market. This is Cooper by Kathy Barrick. I just love that guy. He's so pretty. And I love the alphabet behind him. So I have stitched on him for 16 days. And there's my progress. I think it's very pretty. And it's not very big, which I love that. This is 40 count. This is a piece of linen that I dyed myself. This is coffee, tea, and wine dyed. So I had it in a little glass baking dish soaking in coffee, and then I poured some tea in there, and then we had wine that night, and I poured the wine on it, and it turned out pretty nice. I like it. So that's my progress on Cooper. Love stitching on Cooper. That one is a really good one. Day 2, not so much. Day 2 is Peacocks and Pumpkins, or Pumpkins and Peacocks by the Good Housewife. I'm stitching it on a piece of 28 count black Lugana, and I think that's the problem. It's an even weave, but it's not, I'm not enjoying it. And it calls for DMC, and I'm stitching it with DMC. So there's my progress. It's pretty, and it will be pretty once I get into it. I can't wait to get to some of those sunflowers. You can see I've just started at the top here, and I'm just now getting to his tail. Should bring it closer. Okay. So day 3. Oh, wait a minute. That was day 3. I skipped something. Day 2 was actually a start and a finish. I started Farm Fob on day 2. I finished Farm Fob on day 3. So this was a Lizzie Kate little kit. And there's one side. That pig is so adorable. And there's the other. So I've got it over here because I'm going to finish this fob probably tomorrow. And this is my sewing spot right there. All right, so that was day 2. Day 3 was pumpkins and peacocks. Day 4 is another one I love. This is beautiful. And I wish I had this pattern in my shop. I've looked for it. I can't get it through my distributor, but if anybody can get it through their distributor, find out, and you should order it. This was released in 2013 by Threadwork Primitives. It's called a Bee Gathering. It's a little housewife. And I just love the bee skip. I'm stitching this on 40 count. I think this is Pearl Barley. And it's tiny and it's beautiful. So I'm about halfway done. This is just 3 colors of Gentle Arts. It's pecan pie, oh wait a minute, pecan pie and burlap from Gentle Arts, and then Schneckly from Weeks Dye Works. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And I'm actually substituting, instead of burlap, I'm using this Primitive Sage from Victorian Motto sampler threads. I'm in the thread of the month. I'm getting 12 skeins of the Primitive limited edition, and I love this. Is wonderful. Everybody that says it's great to stitch with, it is. It is very soft and very silky. So I'm using that instead of burlap. Just started raining. I love summer weather. In the evenings and the afternoons here, we always get a little bit of a rainstorm, and it's raining now. So pretty. All right, day 5. I'm surprised how much I'm enjoying stitching on this, because I did not think that this was going to be one that I would enjoy. Where'd I put it? Here it is. It is Brooks Books Spirit of Oz Santa. It's one of those that has tons of things to do, and I'm stitching on the balloon, the hot air balloon, and that's my progress. Now, before Stitch Mania, I had just this part done, so I've done the basket and I'm putting in the gold, but it's really fun. It's really cute. Of course, I have a lot to do because there's I've got to stitch the Santa, and then I got to stitch all the little people, but that's okay. I mean, I'm having fun with it. Okay. Day 6 is a carryover from last year. It's the Stacy Nash Primitive. You'll hear Josie over there. She sees some birds. Stacy Nash Primitives. This was a exclusive with Nordencraft from 2015. I think that's right. It's a carryover from 2016. But I've made some progress. So since I started this in Stitch Mania, I finished this half of the basket, and then the letters on the second and third row. I just think it's pretty. Just stitch slow on this one. So that was a carryover. And I do stitch on every one of these every night as they come up in the... All right, and the next one's kind of an interesting story. So on day 7, originally I was going to stitch on Chessie and Me's Hillside Sheep Needle Book, but I found out I had finished it. I just needed to do another little piece to it. Well, Lori from Mischievous Stitches sent me a message. She's like, do you want to add something to your Stitch Mania and do a stitch along? And I'm like, absolutely, because Lori's cool and wonderful, and I wanted to stitch along with her. So she suggested we do Birds of a Feather. So I substituted this one. I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count Old Town Blend. Thank you, Pretty Southern, for suggesting that. In one of her videos, she talked about how pretty that is, and it is. This is in silks. So it calls for NPI, needlepoint silks, which I don't have, but I did want to do silk. So I'm looking at the DMC, so the DMC conversion, and then comparing that to the silks that I do have, and just doing a silk conversion. So this is my progress. And I just love that red. The red that I'm using is actually from a Stitchy box. It's Fiberlicious Scarlet. I think it's beautiful. So that's my progress. And thank you, Lori, for inviting me to do the stitch along. I'm enjoying this very much. I'm starting to get snuffly. I'm sorry. My cold is coming back. I'm going to talk as much as I can. Day 8 was a new start. It was Harvest Bird by You and I and Friends. Little tiny thing. And I started it on the 8th, and I finished this on the 14th. So that's my progress, or that's my finish. And I think that's really, really cute. And I actually picked up a real ornate metal frame that I'm going to frame this in. So cute. So 2 starts, 2 finishes for Stitch Mania. I'm excited about that. Day 9 is Madam Cottontail by With Thy Needle and Thread. And if you watched my previous video, all I had was her shoulder from a year of stitching. Just her shoulder. I have enjoyed stitching on this. So here is the... If I get a hold of it. Here's the finished piece, and I'm going to finish it as this little pouch. I think that's cute with the little wool felt and buttons. I love that. And here's my progress. So cute. I love the colors. I'm using the called for colors, and I've enjoyed stitching on that one. Day 10 is a new start. This is an old chart from Chessie and Me, and it's really hard to see. It's called, here, let me, Jennifer, take this out of here. Still got it glare, but it's called Blessings of the Bee. And I have not made very much progress on this, mainly because I'm avoiding all the over one stitching, which there's a lot of it. But I've got, this is the length of it. So I've got the top done and started on this side. No, this side. And I've got a little bit of that tree. But there's a lot of over one stitching, and I'm just going to have to eventually get to it. This is 36 count Liberty, no, 40 count Liberty Gathering Gray, which I love that fabric. Excuse me. Day 11 is a carryover from 2017. It is Primitive Needle, Sampler Sisters of the Thread. And I haven't made very much progress. Remember, when I started, I had one of these arrows done. Now I've got 7 of these arrows done in a few letters. There you go. And this is on, I think this is 40 count pear from Lakeside Linens, which I love that fabric too. All right, day 12. Day 12 was a special day. Teresa and I are doing a stitch along. We're doing our Hawk Run Hollow because there's 12 parts to a Hawk Run Hollow. We're going to start it on May 12th. I chose to stitch on Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, and I'm stitching this on, I think it's 40 count straw from R&R, and I haven't made much progress, but that's my progress. And then I lost this thread. I don't know what I did with it. But I'm stitching it in DMC, except there is one silk that's called for, and it's this Rusty Anchor from Silken Colors, and I had it, so I'm using it. What are the chances? All right, day 13 was a carryover from 2016. This is the Prairie Grove Peddlers 3 Pumpkins. There are 3 different pieces in this pattern. I have stitched 2 of the 3. I'm trying to find the cover piece. Where is it? There it is. So I've stitched the small and the medium, and I'm starting on this large one. And I stitched on this. I'm doing every day, a little bit every day, but I've got that much done. And I actually am enjoying this. I like this fabric. This is an even weave from my stash. I don't know what that is, but I'm enjoying stitching on that. Is that not focusing? Oh well. Okay, 14th has been my favorite. I love this piece. And I actually stitch on this more than any of the other pieces. So I'm like, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. And then I hold off to this one and stitch this one last because I love this. This is Oh Say Can You See by Hands On Design. Here's the finished. And I'm doing the drum, which I love. Now this is a series. It's called Around the Holidays. She has 6 of these. They're adorable. I saw them at market, and I love, love, love them. So when you purchase the chart, you get the chart for the drum and the pillow, and you get enough of this velvet or velveteen. I think it's velvet. Anyway, to finish one or the other. So if you want to do the drum, and you want to do the, both, you have to get another piece of velvet or use just some other fabric. But you get the velvet to do that. You can purchase the pins and then the chenille separately. But I just love this. It's so cute. And my sister Bridget, my sister Sharon, and my friend Lisha, we all decided we were going to do this as a stitch along. And Tangela, Stitchy Nurse, is also doing a stitch along with us. And if you want to do a stitch along, we're doing, our hashtag is OSCYSBLJ. So Oh Say Can You See Bridget, Lisha, Jennifer. Or Oh Say Can You Sharon, Bridget, Lisha, Jennifer. And I'll put a little thing here with the hashtag. So that's my progress so far. This is on a piece of 32 count Stormy Nights, Vintage Stormy Nights, Lugana. I sold out of this. Once I showed this on my last video, I sold out of this on my shop, but I ordered 2 yards to restock, and I got my notification from Kim that it's shipping, so I should have this back in stock soon if you're interested in this. But this, I think this is perfect. It looks very much like Under the Sea. So cute. And I saw, who is it? Amy Loves Toads. I've watched her video from, I think it's been a while. I just watched it, but I think the video was from April, where she had finished it and made the drum, and it was so cute. So Amy, if you watch my videos, when the next one comes out, let's do a stitch, join us in our stitch along. I love these. All 6 of them are amazing. Let's see, so that was day 14. Day 15 is a carryover, and it is a Stacy Nash, Miss Baxter's House. House is of Barry's Chapel Road, Miss Baxter's house. And I love that. Those chickens, I've got some chickens that will look similar to those when they grow up. And I am substituting all the threads. I'm using my stash. So that's my progress. This is on 32 count flax. And so the colors that I'm using, that the flowers in the border, I'm using a limited edition Gentle Arts called LA Haze. I'm using the called for green. I think that's chamomile. For the little diamond border here, I'm substituting Colonial Rose Tint from Victoria Motto because I got that in my thread of the month. And then I think I'm using cranberry for the red. I think that is a called for. But I'm trying to stitch from stash somewhat. People joke all the time. They're like, so if you need the thread, you just go and get it out of your shop. And I try not to because I have a basket full of threads. And I need to use what I've got. And I should be able to do that. So Teresa knows how I am about I'm going to use up all my thread. But I usually don't go and get it out of my shop unless I absolutely have to. I just use what I've got. All right. And then day 16, 3 Black-Eyed Susans. Love this. Someone showed this on their video. I don't know who. I'm thinking it was Lori from Mischievous Stitches, but maybe not. Someone showed it, and it was so cute. And I'm like, I have got to get to work on that. So this is what she looks like. Or he looks like. I think it's a she. And y'all know how I feel about my pumpkin head people. I love those little pumpkin head people. Where is he? Right there. One right there. And I worked on it last night. Let's do it this way. And that's my progress. So if you can see, I worked down to the hat because I want to get to that pumpkin head. Because it's so pretty. So, all right, so that's my progress up to this point. Today, I haven't stitched today. Today I've been up here in my craft room working on straightening up, but I'm also working on a quilt. So I'm going to show you this. It's kind of not the best, but this is from Primitive Quilts and Projects. And Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trails, who I think is amazing. If you don't watch her videos, you should. She does all kinds of crafts. I want to be just like her. She gets so many things done. And she is super sweet. So this magazine, she was showing several of the projects in this magazine on one of her videos. And I'm like, I want to do that one. I've got to do that. And I actually had purchased the magazine prior to seeing her video. Because I try to get these when they come out. And I found this, or I saw this. This is a mystery quilt. They're calling it their seasonal mystery quilt. So there's 4 parts to it. And I'm like, I am going to do that. And I actually went to the sources and purchased the fabric to do the whole series. So this is the first part. So there's some applique and then the piecing. And I'll show you what some of the progress I have. So I've got some of the piecing done, the little pinwheels and scrappy parts, such pretty colors. And then my applique, I've got the little bird. And I'm working on the 3 flowers. Oh, part's falling apart. So this is what I worked on today. So I have one more flower to put on there. And then I'll just piece it all together. I still have to put together this block. I haven't done this block yet. So I'm going to do that and finish this up probably tomorrow. And then piece it all together. And this border, you don't put that on unless you want to do them as individuals. And I think I'm doing all of them together as one quilt. So that's sort of what I've been working on. Trying to improve my hand applique. It's coming along. Well, the latest edition came out, and let me find it. And the second one, this is the summer, I believe. Isn't that pretty? I love that. So when I ordered the set of fabric, it came with all the fabric I'll need to do all 4 parts. So I can start cutting this out and putting this part together next week. So I'm super excited about that. That's pretty much all I've been working on. I'm getting ready to go to a conference next week. So again, today's the 17th. On the 25th, next Friday, I'm going to drive up to Columbus, Ohio. Actually, I'm going to drive to Franklin, Tennessee, and then the next day, Saturday, I'm going to drive up to Columbus, Ohio. The conference is Saturday, Sunday, actually Sunday, Monday, and then I'm going to drive back Tuesday, spend the night in Franklin, Tennessee again, and be home on Wednesday. So I'm excited. I'm going to check out any shops that I can find between here and there. I know I'm going to go up through Tennessee, so I'll go through Alabama. So I'll make my stops at my favorites in Decatur. So Marlene, if you watch this, I'm coming to visit you either Friday of next week or Wednesday of the following week. And then I'm going to go up through Nashville, Kentucky to Ohio. So I'm excited. I go to this conference every year. It's the Human Anatomy and Physiology Society. It's a bunch of us that teach anatomy and physiology. We get together and talk about how can we make it easier for students. I am excited that I'm not teaching this summer, but I am coordinating the labs, and the labs are a complete disaster because we had to move the lab, and then we had to move the lab again. And so next week I'm going to go in and start getting that set up. I don't teach the labs because we have graduate students that do that, and I have 4 phenomenal graduate students that are going to handle that for me. So I just have to meet with them once a week and make sure that everything's in place. And then I'm doing a professional development program for 10 faculty members. So I'll be facilitating their summer session. So I have a lot of crafting time. I finished the revisions of all of my chapters, so we're just in the copy editing phases right now, which is exciting. I'm sorry, I got distracted by a bird again. There's a mockingbird running around on my driveway like crazy. But so I've got a lot of fun plans for the summer. The end of June, I'm going to Franklin, Tennessee for a retreat with Katrina, which I love Katrina's retreats. I'm not sure what we're going to do in July because I won't have any classes. I will have the professional development, but I won't have classes or labs or anything. And then my husband and I are planning a trip. We're thinking of going to England. We'll see. So thank you for listening. This is a short video for me. I usually have longer videos, but as you can see, I've got some cleaning to do in here and got some rearranging, and got to go check on my baby chickens. And I will do another video when I get back from the HAPS conference to show off all of my amazing whips. And actually, you know what? If I can figure it out, if I can just force myself to do it, I'll try to do another update next Wednesday or next Thursday before I go on the trip. So this summer, got a little vein sticking out there, getting old. This summer, I should be able to do more regular updates. So a couple of shop updates, exciting things. I have been able to order fabric directly from Picture This Plus. I have to wait until they are dyed and everything, but that's, you know, that's something new. I'm placing orders now with Lakeside Linens, which I love her linens. And what else is exciting? I'm getting button packs for Teresa's clotheslines, the Raise the Roof clotheslines. So I've got all of the clotheslines in my shop, but now I'm getting the button packs to go along with those if you're interested. If you're interested, it's Jen's Stitching Niche on Etsy. I am appreciative for all of those of you that come to my shop and, you know, place orders. It's amazing how many of you watch my videos and then go over there. I really appreciate that. I know that that is something you don't have to do. There's lots of online shops, but I do appreciate your business, and if you need anything, just let me know. Those of you that are doing Stitch Mania, I know some of you are finishing up either yesterday or you're going to finish on the 18th. Those of us that are going 31 days, we're more than halfway there. I hope to see some progress and some finishes before this is all over. But again, thank you for stopping by and visiting with me. Thank you for all of the likes and the comments. And if you need anything, just let me know.